All right, so if you're thinking about selling your house, here's something you really need to know. Even though it's still a seller's market today, you can't just pick any price for your listing. While prices are still appreciating in most areas, they're climbing at a slower pace because higher mortgage rates are putting a squeeze on buyer demand. At the same time, the supply of homes for sale is growing, and that means buyers have more options, and your house may not stand out as much if it's not priced right. Those two factors combined are why the asking price you set for your house is more important today than it has been in recent years. And some sellers are finding that out the hard way. It's leading to more price reductions. Now, Mike Simonson, who's the founder and president of Altos Research, he explains looking at the price reductions data set, it all fits in the same pattern of increasing supply and home buyer demand that is just exhausted by high mortgage rates. As home sellers are faced with less demand than they expected, more of them have to reduce their prices. Now, that's because they haven't adjusted their expectations to today's market. Now, maybe they're not working with an agent, so they don't know what's happening around them. It's one of the benefits of working with an agent, right? You hear this all the time from buyers and sellers. All agents sort of do the same thing. I don't know what value agents bring, and it's kind of important to highlight that one of the things that's valuable about having an agent actually is the fact that they do bring that sort of market knowledge. And they can give you that market knowledge when it comes to setting the right price. And setting the right price is critically important. If you don't set the right price, you can find yourself stagnant in the market, and that is not a good place to be. Trust me. Now, common knowledge would tell you, oh, well, you can just reduce the price and then the house will sell, but that's not always the case. Honestly, if a house sits on the market for too long, a lot of times you can reduce the price all you want, and it's still going to sit stagnant on the market. Market time matters. It might not seem like it, but it matters. And that's part of the reason why setting the right price in the beginning is so important. So we want to make sure that we're controlling our expectations if we are going to list our house, okay? Because again, agents are going to know this and agents are going to help you. And it's critically important to pick an agent that prioritizes being a local market expert. Don't just choose an agent because of their name. Choose an agent because they know the market. You can even ask the agent questions about the market, and hopefully they'll be able to answer those questions with some sort of certainty or confidence, because that's what you want. You don't just want any agent, right? You want an agent who's going to represent your interests in the best way possible. So pick someone who understands the market, specifically the market in the area that you're trying to sell your house. It's very important, okay? Now, agents are going to base their decisions on the latest data available, okay? They're not going to use old stale data. They're going to use the latest data available, and that's the win. That's what you want. If you want to avoid making a pricing mistake yourself that could turn away buyers and delay your sell, you need to work with an agent who really knows your local market, like I mentioned earlier. Lean on the right agent. They'll help you avoid making mistakes. Here are some common mistakes that are made pretty often. Setting a price that's too high, because people have unrealistic expectations about how much their house is worth. They base the price on their gut. They base the price on their bottom line, and they don't use data to come up with the right price. Another common mistake is not considering what houses are actually selling for, okay? Some sellers, when they try to do their own comparables, they're doing it wrong. They don't have the most up-to-date data, and so they're making mistakes when they set that price. And that can be, like I said, deadly. It can lead to stagnation. And overestimating your home improvements. This is so common, okay? And we all do this. We are all guilty of this. We fall in love with the work that we put into the house. We think that it's more valuable than it is. And it's very easy to overestimate how much those upgrades affect the market price. It's one thing when you just start adding up the cost of all these upgrades, but a pool is going to be worth a heck of a lot more in Florida than it might be in Ohio. Okay, so like if you add a pool in Ohio, you can't really base that on, well, I saw these people in Florida added a pool and it added X amount of value. Well, of course it's Florida. You need a pool in Florida. Another common mistake is ignoring feedback and market response. Some sellers are resistant to lowering their asking price based on feedback they're getting in open houses. they're just like resistant to do that. They don't listen to the feedback. An agent, a good agent, I should say, is going to remind the seller how important it is to be flexible, respond to market feedback, because you want to attract qualified buyers and you're getting feedback from buyers. Buyers are telling you what they expect and you should listen to that feedback. But in the end, it's important to note accurate pricing depends on current market conditions. And an agent is going to have all of that data and the information needed to find the right price for your house. The right agent is going to use that expertise to develop a pricing strategy. It's going to be based on current market conditions, and it's going to be designed to get your house sold, because we don't want to miss the mark. The bottom line here, folks, the one takeaway from this video is the right asking price is more important today than it has been over the last few years. Avoid this mistake. Work with an agent that's going to help you set the right price.